What?
Alright, so I love this thing. It is topped off. You can see it's full. And it's still sucking. Which I don't even know how that's even doing that. We still have a little bit of insulation hanging around. We got some dead bugs over there, so let's hit it.
Hey, come over and get this. What are this gross thing? Put it on stun. Slow here. Alright,
So what I've noticed, we haven't done a time test, but with a 9 amp flex volt.
this is 20 volt tool.
Yes. Right there.
What is it? Before we get too far into
It's
this.
a HEPA construction hand vac.
It's a DCB
So it's actually
5018.
So this is actually rated for what we do. It's not homeowner use. When I originally bought this, I was like, oh.
Professional grade.
I was like, this is gonna be a homeowner vacuum, man. After using it more, I'm not, unless you're needing a wet vac or you're sucking up a bunch of stuff, this definitely will get the job done. You are gonna have to clean the bin out, but what I've noticed is
It's decent.
yes, it holds quite a
capacity
bit.
for-
The filter never gets plugged, as you can see. I say it never gets plugged. It's still vacuuming, and the canister's topped off. So that should be a good example of how it runs. Yeah, you want to go show them? Let's clip over to the.
We're going. I'm actually talking about what job we're on. So you guys know we're primarily remodelers. We had Harley's gonna hop up there. Do a couple of touch-ups up there. We had to pop that panel off, put a couple cutouts because we had to run a couple lines over there. Yep. And to facilitate our bathroom remodel. Let's get on over to the bathroom remodel. So either way, that's what's so ideal about this thing is you can go around and clean up the mess from, let's say, boring through a wall or going through drywall. And by the way, we got a really cool attachment we just bought from Milwaukee.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that deserves its own video. All right, so you're gonna be coming back in there, aren't you?
Yeah.
So let's cruise on over here. So this is the house that we actually put an elevator in, but the homeowner had us do an additional job. He wanted a bathroom down in his basement. So that required a lift. Pump, toilet. So what we did is we put the pump over here on this side. We built that wall. So this was a mechanical room in here. That's actually the mechanical room for the elevator. You got all the good stuff back here. This was unused and the water heater used to sit over there. So we actually tiled the floor. Tile turned out beautiful over here. We separated the toilet and ran that through the wall. Of course, that runs over here to the pump. And we actually are not done with this. I'm going to have the plumber come back and tie that drain in to right here. So that way, if the water heater ever has a leak, it can start running into that pump and lifts up. It goes through there. Either way, we got all the ceiling tiles in, so you really can't see it, but where that vacuum really shines is like at the finish of a job. I have to put hardware in here, handles, and like little cleanup, little miscellaneous thing. That vacuum's gonna be awesome for that. Yeah. So what have you used the vacuum on so far?
Used it on our personal house a lot. Cars, it is a beast in cars.
Oh yeah.
You can just throw it in the seat and you can attach the hose. So we have extension, hose, pointer attachment, broom attachment that slides off and becomes a skinnier floor attachment than your
That's cool.
wider one.
So you could use that
Small
on tile.
brush attachment.
Oh, I like that.
Trim and stuff.
It has a little protective cup.
Of course, hose, and then wider floor attachment with the rollers.
So all this stuff comes with that vacuum.
Yes, and it comes with the bag. Throw them all in the bag, and then. So one thing that I like about this is the belt clip. We've already been on a couple roofs.
Oh, that's right. That's
where you can just throw it on there, throw it on your belt.
Okay,
and you can just go right up a ladder, and you have a vacuum on the roof. That also, another cool thing about this vacuum is it will run upside down on its side, because since it's a center filter, it's not on the top.
Okay, so we had a plane fly over, so I had to cut it. We had a job that we had to go up there and do essentially a. It's not a cricket, if you know what a cricket is up on a roof. But either way, so we had to pull some shingles down, pull some siding back, and that's not normally our work. We don't, and it was almost charity work. Let's do. I want to make sure I don't get us flooded out with sunlight. There we go. This thing right here helped us do it. You know, when you're pulling shingles back and all the garbage from the J channel up there.
Before this, we would take our rigid vacuum, our small rigid up there,
or a blower,
and naturally, what does it want to do? It wants to fall off the roof. So you got to tie it up there with a bungee to your foot, or somehow, and then you got to drag a cord up there, which is another struggle.
And this actually has a rubber foot down here, so that works pretty well.
When we put it on the shingles, it didn't want to slide. It was stuck down to the roof.
Yep.
This is awesome for vacuuming out gutters and stuff, which I did that. We would have recorded it, but when we got finished,
we were just trying to knock.
Dark outside.
We were trying to get this place done and out of there. Recording it was our last thought, and that seems to happen with a lot of our jobs. Is we're trying to get stuff done, but empty this thing out.
One thing I want to mention beforehand is I started running this with 4 and 5 amp batteries, and the runtime was And one thing I started...
Hey, what is...
It's just okay. I mean, it's, compared to like our Milwaukee vacuum, they're probably about the same, but that's with the 8 or 9 amps, so I would say runtime this is going to be better than our Milwaukee. But one thing I've noticed with cordless vacuums is you need to learn to start throwing runtime out the window. Because there's no hose with this one. There's no cord that you have to set up. So that's less trips to the van. And what you sacrifice and run into the charger to grab another battery maybe sometimes easily is burn up.
But okay, just I want to stop them right there. Our Milwaukee backpack vacuum has horrible runtime. Horrendous. But it has a bunch of suction. Same thing for this. This is smaller, huge amount of suction.
Mm-hmm.
I until he said this right here, I was unaware that the battery life wasn't the best.
Well, the 9 amp, it just seems to 9 amp flexible. It just seems to keep going and going and going and going and going and going.
Well, that's not true with the Milwaukee.
Not with the 9.
An 8 or a 9 amp in the backpack Milwaukee. We have multiple videos of that. That thing. You're on borrowed time with that thing. You're like, get that thing shut off. Quick.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's get back to this thing.
So,
empty
it out. Yeah. So there's your main suction port. There's the motor, actually. You can see the fins right there.
Yeah.
So the only negative that I've had
Check that out. So he already hung it right there. That's cool.
Yeah, so you just pull it right out.
Oh,
so obviously. Yeah. The only negative I found with this is it doesn't like to... With the Milwaukee filter, you can slap it on the ground and it cleans the filter out fairly easy. With this, you can detach it. The filter is not as easy to clean out. Sometimes you gotta get in there.
That insulation's always gonna be in there.
Yeah, I might have to find a hard surface to beat it on. So what I want to mention when I mentioned about the runtime with a 4 or 5 amp battery, That goes with all cordless tools. What I'm saying is do not buy this vacuum and plan to run a 2-amp battery on it and expect to get the performance of a corded tool.
Yeah.
If you want the performance and runtime of a corded tool, this is going to be your closest bet. You pop a 9-amp in this, and I have not been unhappy with the runtime with it yet. I mean, a little bit of power boost with the flexible is another advantage. So.
Okay, cool. All right.
Is this the bet? What do you think?
What?
Do you think this is the best cordless vacuum for commercial use, for construction,
For what we're doing?
for what we do? Do you think there's another vacuum out there?
No, I don't. Because the problem we've had with the Milwaukee is it's very tipsy. Now, this is not going to replace the Milwaukee because the Milwaukee has quite a bit more storage. But this has the suction. And we bought both of these. Oh, yes, we bought two. We have two. We actually, Amazon, we ordered the first one through Amazon. Amazon was dragging their feet to get it to us. So we found out Lowe's had them up high up. We actually walked into the store and we asked the woman about it, and she's like, "How do you know about this tool?" And this is a few weeks ago, and she's like, "Yeah, we have them," but she's like, "They're not even down. We just a shipment arrived."
Yeah.
So either way, this is quite a bit larger overall from what a traditional. I think it was called, like, what was it? The original one's called Dustbuster or
Dirt Devil.
Dirt Devil. There we go.
Yeah, they came out with one of the original ones.
The amount of power that this has over a Dirt Devil is just an insane amount. You will be blown away.
I just clean the filter manually, and it has instructions right here. They don't want you to blow it out. They want you to tap it on a surface. So if you unclip the filter and just go on the edge of a concrete slab and just hit it 2 or 3 times, your filter is going to look pretty close to that. So it's very easy filter clean out.
Okay.
You don't have to use any other type of tools, or you can wash it. I think most modern filters you can just wash out with water and soap.
Okay.
Just real easy to reassemble.
Okay.
This is more than I expected from a little tiny vacuum like this. I did not think we would be able to
Especially with this right here. Everything here. So, I mean, if a person had this just for their vehicles alone, it would be worth it.
Yeah.
It does an awesome
Like in the
job.
cars, I run the hose with the pointer attachment, I guess you would call it, where you get in small areas. I have yet to use this one. I haven't used that. I've used this, that, and the extension. I've ran this a lot with the extension.
Cool. Clean that garbage up right there. What's that?
Good, I was doing it wrong.
That sucked it up quick.
Yeah.
That's impressive.
This would be the perfect scenario for the brush attachment. So.
Because a lot of times when you're doing hardware, the kitchen can actually be completed. There's sometimes it's almost 100% done because you can't get a homeowner to figure out what hardware is going on. So, yeah, that's pretty slick. Love it.